Hey everybody, welcome to Reverse Homesteading. I thought I'd give you a quick update on my new garden hose and fittings and trigger. So I started out with all brass fittings because hubby wanted to swap over to all quality things. The previous one I had on here, if you see the other video about no more tangles in your garden hose, was about that big and entirely made of brass except for a couple of plastic bits on the end. I found it wasn't very good with stopping the water pressure or getting a really soft spray. I'm used to the round sort of almost shower head kind of sprinkler types that has about 6 settings around when you twist the end of the round end, and you can have mist for seedlings and all sorts. This still doesn't have this, but we had this already in the shed. It's Jonathan's dad's one, and it's still quality, it's still metal in the main barrel of it, and it's Gardena brand, or Gardena, which these days is not a great brand personally, at least for hose fittings. I haven't had a trigger of this kind in a while, but anyway, this was probably bought years and years ago because Jonathan's dad had it for quite a while, so it fits nicely on our brass fittings and it gives me a bit more control of the water pressure, because otherwise what I was having to do with the sort of nozzle shaped one, the straight one, was that if the water pressure wasn't right, it had such a small range of being able to work. I had to walk, well, my plants are about 20 metres away from the only hose in the backyard, so the only hose in the backyard is here, sadly over our toilet plumbing, which is a little odd, but I can understand why they would do that. Yes, I had to walk 20 metres back from the plants if I was, shooting the plants to death and blasting the soil out, because I didn't really have much that I could do to reduce the water pressure for the poor little plants. So I had to walk all the way back here, adjust it, a little bit tedious. So anyway, I swapped this one from the front yard to the backyard, and the one in the front yard really doesn't need to do much, so that'll be fine. And this hose, which was new about a week ago, I laid it out in the sun for a little bit and it really got the kinks out. You still have to remember, like any hose, if you're undoing it or doing it up into the oval or the circle at the end of when you're using it, just let it roll around in your hands if it wants to go round, because that's actually getting the potential future kinks out of it. So if you're rolling it up and it wants to give a little twist or so at this end, just let it do that, because it'll be kind of like a steering wheel, sort of getting the kinks out of it and before they actually start happening. Anyway, that's the upshot of it all. Do what works for you. More control is better, obviously, especially for things in pots. And yeah, just do what works for you. That's the update on my Nylex hose and my Holman versus Gardena triggers at the end. Thanks for watching. Hope it was helpful. We'll catch you next time.